This is brought to you by Madot Academy. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Hello all. Nowadays, if you are a good programmer, you do not need to have a college degree in order to be hired as a software developer. The employment of software developers is projected to grow 22% from 2020 to 2030. This is much faster than the average for all occupations. In this video, we are going to share with you the best tips that will help you to master any programming language in a very short period of time. Remember, these tips are gathered from different successful professional programmers and different research resources. Tip number 1. Skim through different programming languages. Skimming through different programming languages will help you to choose the best programming language for your passion and interest. Knowing your passion and status will help you to make the right decision. When starting your journey by choosing the best programming language for a specific software development role. Tip number 2. Choose a specific programming language and be committed to learning. Now you have the basic knowledge. This can help you to choose the right language. So at this time you have to decide to study one specific programming language which will be the best fit with your passion and your future plan. The programming language should be best for your choice of software development role. This means, for example, if you chose to learn machine learning and AI, you do not choose PHP, rather you may choose Python. You have to choose one language at a time and do not shift to another language until you master the one you choose before. This is because being average in two languages may not be as good as being a master of one specific language in the software development discipline. In addition to choosing a specific language to learn, you should also need to be committed. Commitment is the outcome of passion, so you have to make the right choice to be passionate about it. The logic is simple. If an egg is broken by an outside force, life ends. If broken by inside force, life begins. Great things always begin from inside. Tip number 3. Do not try to remember every code. This is why most of the time beginners are not effective to get into software development roles. Beginners waste most of their time remembering each and every code. If you have the ability to remember each and every code, it may be good, but you do not need to remember each and every line of code to be a good programmer. Rather, you need to know how to use them in the proper place and how the code works. If you know the logic and how it works, you can refer to documentation, Google, or other resources to recap the correct syntax or the code. Tip number 4. Spend your time on the most relevant portions. As everything seems necessary, you have to spend your time wisely to be effective. This means if someone chooses to learn Python for machine learning and if someone else is using Python programming for web development, each portion of Python programming may not be equally relevant for both of them. That's why knowing your destination or your passion helps you a lot. Even if there is no irrelevant knowledge, you may need to use your time effectively. Tip number 5. Familiarize yourself with official documentation of your choice of programming language. Documentation is one of the best places to learn coding in an efficient way. You may use video tutorials and other articles for clarification and reference, but if you need to learn coding in an effective way, you have to familiarize yourself with documentation. Tip number 6. You have to practice what you learned every time. To be effective in programming, you need to spend more time practicing to code by your own self. This is because sometimes you may feel you understand everything while the reality is the opposite. You can use a reference while you practice to code. Practice, practice, practice will make you a perfect programmer. Tip number 7. Take a real-world challenge to solve with your knowledge. At this stage, you feel confident with your knowledge, so you have to test it by taking real-world challenges or projects. These projects will not only help you to enhance your skill but also will help you to show your previous work for your hiring company, as some companies need to see previous work. Do not forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you.